Are you ready for unfiltered Gabby? Are you ready for honesty? Are you ready for answers that some may not feel comfortable with? Are you ready for answers that maybe you will feel comfortable with? Or are you ready if I don't want to answer any of your questions? Or I might want to keep some of them a secret. Someone agrees. I have pussies walking around. I have one pussy walking around. Come on then. Up you come. There's a good boy. There's a good boy. I am going to get a stool, I promise. But for the moment, I've just got this little pussy sat here on my lap. And let's get on with it. So, I'm going to go to my questions here. Now, let's see how we can do this. So, I posed a Q&A. I said to people, ask me anything. And you did ask. Yes, you did ask. And I've got the questions here. Well, I've got the answers here in front of me as well. So, let's go through it. So some of these questions and answers, some of the questions were perfume related, which I have about a dozen or so perfumes here to talk about in this video, and some weren't. So it's going to be a fairly long one. It's going to be at least half an hour, maybe more. And that's a long one for me, as you know, because I only do like 10-minute videos on average. So let's do it. So first question is from Courtney. Courtney, perfume madness herself. Yes. Oh gosh, you look on her Instagram. It puts my collection, my little collection, to shame. Anyway, she asks, if I could be anyone in the world, who would I be? Well, the answer to that would be no one. Because I don't want to be anyone else. Sorry, itchy nose there. I don't want to be anyone else. I just want to be me. So that's quite a short answer, but some of these answers are short. Some of them are going to be long. That was a short one. So Courtney, there you go. That answers that. So Don Sapansky, our Don, he asks, how long have I been transgender? So if you are, oh my God, I've got an itchy nose. So if you are fairly new to my channel, welcome. I normally talk about fragrances, and I am talking about fragrances in this channel, but this is a Q&A. And yes, I'm transgender. How long have I been transgender? Well, do I really actually see myself as transgender? After a lot of therapy and counselling and things like that, and fighting my inner demons, I don't actually see myself as transgender, even though physically I had male genitalia I was born with. But I would say I've been trans all my life, but it was probably at the age of young as 4 or 5 that I knew I was different. I knew that I wasn't that person who I was physically born as, and by that I mean male genitalia. One of my cats here is behind me. Yes, so expect, I have a lot of cats, as you will encounter. And if you could see Claude looking up at me with love in his eyes. Hey, Claude. You probably can hear him. Anyway, do I have any children? He also asks. No. I've always said, down there is for fun and not for pain. My vagina was made for fun. So there we go. So, you know, I'm not censoring any of this. This is, yeah, this is for children. No, this isn't for children. This isn't for children. This is for adults. But bear in mind, I am an open person. I'm an honest person. I'm an open book. I'm not that type of person that says, "Hi, I'm Gabby, and I was born such and such, and now I'm such and such." No, once you get to know me, and once you get to really know me, then I will tell people. I remember Lulu asking me, she said, what are you, how are you related to the LGBTQ community? And when I told her, she was surprised, but it was fine. It was just like, oh, right, yeah, that's it. Because nowadays, today, it's okay to be you. And if somebody says it's not okay to be you, then that somebody isn't okay to be in your life. I could really talk a whole video about this. And if you do want me to talk a whole bit video about this, because I could talk a lot more, I really could, but we need to go on to other questions. Right. He also asks, Don also asks, do I think that biological women who compete in sports should compete against trans women? Yes. If anything, I don't know how to answer that. Yes. So let's go on. So Love, I love that name. Love asks, if I could make a repeat purchase. I'm trying to read these questions, some of them, because I can't access my laptop or my computer at the moment. It's a little bit, anyway. Love asks, hello Love. They ask if I could make a repeat what is my most repeat purchase? There we go. That's it. Over nearly 30 years. Angel, everything. There has been there has been a lot of other repeat purchases, but the most main one is Angel, without a shadow of a doubt, and that will be answered in a lot of questions. So Angel. If you do hear my fan above me, I do apologise. I am sweating like a banshee on heat. So no, I don't sweat, I'm just glowing. So anyway, next question, let's get on with it. So Love also asks, because she does ask some other questions here, am I a sweet or a savoury person? I am a sweet person. My nickname is Pudding. I have another nickname as well, but that's another video. But my nickname is Pudding. I've always been called Pudding by Richard, because I will eat a starter and then I'll probably have a dessert. I'll skip the main. You know, let's just go in for the kill and end with a bang, shall we say. So yes, so Pudding, I love sweet things and I prefer chocolate to pastries. So I hope that answers that. I do like pastries, but I'm a big chocolate girl. Seen the film 9.5 Weeks? There we go. So, right, what is the one fragrance that my husband loves on me is also asked. The main one, DKNY Women. Richard loves this on me. He just loves it on me. So, there we go. Next question, and this is by Mirella. If I've pronounced your name right, darling, Mira. Right, so Mira asks me, what kind of music do I like? I like anything that is from the 70s, the 80s. I love old music, I love jazz music, I love music even from the 1920s and 1930s and 1940s. I like some classical, I like some opera, I like some ballet. I like all types. Yeah. So, and what is my favourite celebrity? I'm also asked. That is a hard one. I'm not really into celebrities. I'm not one of these people that are like, oh my God, you know, that latest celebrity. Oh my God, wow. No, I don't do that, and I don't watch reality TV shows. Really? Well, she says that. Yes, I do digress. I watch The Real Housewives. That's my guilty pleasure. And actually, probably, my favourite celebrity on The Real Housewives is Lisa Rinna, because I'm probably like her when you meet me. I just can't keep my mouth shut. So, my favourite book. Well, fiction-wise, I used to read a lot of Marion Keyes books. I haven't read a lot, really. Not really, no. I prefer books with pictures. Anyway, let's move on to the next question. So, I hope I have pronounced your name right, darling. San Bisaha? I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering these names. San Bisaha asks, do I have a favourite first fragrance memory? Well, one of my first fragrance memories as an adult was, and I haven't got the bottle on me, I've got it over on the other side of the room, is Anais. That is my spicy floral. It was one of the fragrances that I would go out clubbing with in the mid-90s. That's what we did back then. That's what we did. It wasn't the gourmands back then. And even then it was bought out a good 10, 12 years before. But yeah, Anais, and I adored it. Now, Latonia asks, Latonia, hi girl. She asks, do I prefer niche or do I prefer designer fragrances? That's a tough question to ask. Both. I like niche and I like designer. If a fragrance smells good and I like it, I'll wear it. Despite the hype, despite the perfumer, despite what notes are in it, if I like it, I'll buy it. End of. Smells good. I'm spraying with a gay abandon, girl. Now, Mimoni. If I've said your name right, because some of your names, I do apologise. Is it Mamoni or Mamoni? I don't know. But Mamoni asks, now this question, have I had any erotic encounters pre or post marriage regarding fragrances? Yes, one of them I have here, believe it or not, and that's Aromatics Elixir by Clinique in the 90s. When I would wear this clubbing as well, I had so many men ask me what I was wearing, and it ended in many, many one-night stands. Safe one-night stands, I have you know. I was Minnie the Moocher, if that's who she was. But yes, Aromatics Elixir, that was the one. I don't know why. It's a pungent chypre. But because back then in the mid to late 90s, gourmands weren't the rage, this is what I was wearing. So this one here, and post-marriage, I've got another fragrance, but I'm going to talk about that in another answer, if that's okay. If that's okay. So, 50 cents Ange asks, what's the most naughtiest thing I've ever done? Well, are we talking kid or as an adult? Yeah. Richard said if I was a cat in cat, I would be a Siamese because they are naughty. So, as a child, I remember once when I was 9 or 10, I was such, and I still am, a fussy eater. I am really fussy at eating. That's another video. I had issues with food, but if I didn't like something on this one particular case, I didn't like it. We were living in flats at the time in Maisonettes as a child, and I scraped it all out of the window, this food, so I didn't want to get caught. And as I scraped it out of the window, it fell on some people's heads who were going out for the evening. And so they they actually rung the police. Believe it or not, they actually rung the police, and the police came to the door and chuckled to themselves and said, has there been anybody eating food, and throwing it out the window. Yes, my mum knew who it was, and boy was I, well, I was, Americans would call it spanked. I was hit. I was, yeah, you know, I mean, wouldn't do that now, but back then in the 70s and 80s, corporal punishment was not really like it is now. So yeah, I had a good whack. What other questions did Ange have for me? Who would I have in a meal? Who would I have in a meal? I'm not really wording this right, am I? Who would, if I was in a situation where I was sitting down to dinner with somebody, whether they'd be alive or dead, who would I have a dinner with? Well, the first person that came to mind was RuPaul, because he was a pioneer, and I'd love, he, whoever, they were a pioneer, and I'd love to have a conversation with him. There's so many people I'd love to have conversations with. I'd love to have conversations with old movie stars from the 30s and 40s. You know, I love vintage films. Yeah. I don't really know what else really I could answer that to. And if there was one fragrance that I could not live without, what would it be? Well, of course, it would be Salome's. That answers that question. Next person who's asked a question, Lucinda Q. I hope I've pronounced that right. What is the most scent memory fragrance that is really nostalgic to you? That has to be Bleu by Guerlain, because it is really powdery, reminds me of my grandmother. It's a fragrance that she used to wear, and it's, although it just takes me back to an era where everything was nice and soft and fuzzy, and I felt comforted and comforting, and it's that one. The Leah Muir asks, if I could travel anywhere in the world, and if it's somewhere where I've been, and also where would I go? There's lots of places. The one main place in Europe would be Greece. I love Greece. Corfu, I love any of the Greek islands. We've been to Corfu a lot, although not in the last 2 years. We were going to go last year, but we didn't. We're still not going this year. We're going to go again next year. We were initially going to go to Corfu for our 20th wedding anniversary, and then, well, for our 20th anniversary, and then COVID hit, so we didn't go. We cancelled again last year. So we're not going this year, but Corfu is the most beautiful, luscious, green island that... Have you seen the film For Your Eyes Only by James Bond? That film, that's where it was filmed, all in there. It is a beautiful, stunning island, and Paleokastritska is the most beautiful, divine place. Google Paleokastritska in Corfu, or Paleo, P-A-L-E-O in Corfu. It is breathtaking, purely breathtaking. Now, if it was, I tell you where I don't have any desires to go to, and please don't come for me. I have no desire to go to Australia or New Zealand. Don't know why. It's never really appealed to me. And yeah, really, Corfu is the place. It's the place. Also, I was asked, and this was again, this leads me on to Chandra Cox, who then asks, do I believe in extraterrestrials? The answer is yes. I don't believe we are the only ones here. I do believe there are other worlds out there in other galaxies that are far more advanced than us, maybe not as advanced as us. I do believe in UFOs. Call me mad if you want to, but that's what I believe. I've not had an experience with extraterrestrials, but no, I don't believe we are not alone in this universe. No, I don't believe that 100%. And that leads me on to Chandra Cox asking me, do I believe in paranormal? Do I believe in ghosts? Yes. And I experience the paranormal and spirit sometimes on a daily basis. I am psychic myself. I feel things and I sense things and I hear things. And as a child, it was an issue as a child, when I was a child growing up, but now I don't. I used to have people come to me, I used to call them people, come to me when I was sleeping. Now I can control that. Hence, I don't suffer from as many migraines as I used to. It's just something I've always lived with. And I would tell you a little story actually, which involved myself and actually Richard, which didn't really affect me, it affected him. Come on, Claude, you're right, it's okay, I'm not going to ignore you. And we were staying at, come on, oh come on there's a good boy, there's a good boy, up you come. We were staying at a place called the Mermaid Inn in Rye 3 years ago now, and it's a lovely old pub, restaurant, beautiful it is, in Rye in East Sussex, not Kent, East Sussex, Rye, on the coast, on the south coast. And one evening I was having a bath and Richard was filming, and we were staying in the, I do believe it was the Queen Elizabeth room, I think Queen Elizabeth I stayed there, and he captured something on camera, and it wasn't in dark, he showed it to me afterwards, and it was not just an orb, it was an actual manifestation going across the room. I think it was within the walls itself. It wasn't grounded, it wasn't visiting, it was replaying, like that wall stone tape theory. So I think that's what it is. When it came to spirits there, we didn't encounter anything else. Actually, I had the best night's sleep, even though this old pub, the Mermaid Inn, which is renowned to be one of the most haunted pubs in England, it was a lovely place to go to. And if you can, the food is excellent. The food is excellent, and I'm a picky eater, so go there if you can. So that was a bit long-winded. And actually Tammy Central asked that question too, so I hope that answers that question. So I'm just going to pop a bottle down here because Claude is trying to, you know how cats are like, don't you? Anyway, let's go on to Claire Smith asks, what kind of advice would I recommend to somebody who would want to start a YouTube channel? I would say go for it. It's absolutely good if you want to do that, but be realistic. Set yourself goals. Be prepared to work at it. It's not one of these, hi, welcome to my YouTube channel, please like, comment, subscribe, and then expect to have 1,000 subscribers overnight and all of these views. I'm lucky if I get 500-600 views on a video, and I'm a small content creator. It only averages, the views I get, it averages about 400 maybe. So I'm 300-400. So I am, I mean, I might get a lot of views on this video, I don't know, but you know, you put the work in and you have content, you have good content, you have lists. Keep your mind active with what you want to do. Always look for other content creators and mentor other content creators and learn from other content creators. And so you're not plagiarizing, and you're not doing videos word for word, which I've seen once or twice on some videos. And also, you know, make your thumbnails, you know, inviting. Do some clickbait if you want to do. We're all guilty of it. We're all guilty of doing things like this. I've done it. But ultimately, know your audience. Know your niche. Know what you like to talk about, to do in your videos, whether that be vlogging, whether that be fragrance related, whether it be beauty or makeup. And I also see a lot of people that do fragrances cross over into beauty and makeup. I was going to do that. Not for me. I'm just fragrance. That's all I wanted to concentrate on, because I feel myself, I was diversifying and I didn't want to diversify. And although that's good if you want to do that, but I think really ultimately people will watch you, for your personality. And myself as a content creator, I engage in about a dozen other or so content creators religiously. But there are other content creators out there, their videos that I do watch. And even if I don't comment, you know, I will still watch it, you know, give a thumbs up if I like it. I'm quite an honest person. I'm one of these people that I won't do hauls. I won't do, I've done first impressions. I won't do unboxings, really. I like to do fragrance reviews. Yes, they may not get as many views, but I don't care. I'm doing something I'm passionate about. You have to be passionate about it, and it will come across to your audience if you're not passionate about it. So take that on board. But yeah, do it, really do it. And also I would say, if there's a couple of things I've learned about being a content creator, it's about being tolerant and having respect. Those are two main big things, because not everybody else will think like you, and it is okay to disagree. A lot of people today have opinions and they think their opinion is the best and the only one. No, it isn't. So just learn from that and just be tolerant. Just be tolerant. Just before you're about to, just think before you, that noise, I don't know where that noise came from, but just be tolerant, because you never know, there's somebody sat behind watching you and your comments on there, and you never know what those comments could lead to. I'm not saying anything else, but you just never know. So that's something I have had to learn, because I am quite direct. So I have to be a little bit more indirect and a bit more tactful. But there we go. So that was a long answer. Cisa or Cessa, C-E-C-C-A, asks, what are the 3 tourist hotspots that I would recommend in the UK? Well, one of them is not London. So I do apologise for all the people living in London. No, I'm not a London girl, never have been a London girl, don't like London at all. I get very, very anxious if I have to go on training seminars, which I have done in previous work roles, and gone on the tube. Hate it with a passion. But the 3 areas I am going to recommend is Scotland, which is, well, I'm going to give you an opinion now. This is my opinion. Scotland, which one day I hope is separate to the UK, but still in the EU. Yes, that's what I think. But Scotland, yes, I love Scotland. Although it is in the UK, you know, one day it may be separate from the UK, and I'm all up for that. I think Scotland is a lovely part of the world. Been there several times. Love it. Been to, well, we keep saying we're going to go to Edinburgh. Never been, but we will go. We've been to the most northern part of Scotland, and we've been to Inverness. Beautiful in that area. So beautiful it is. And also Ayrshire on the west coast. Been to see friends there. Loved it there along the coast there. We went a couple of years back. It was in between the pandemic. Yeah, over 2 years ago now we were there. Yeah, love Scotland. The second place, Stirling. Stirling is another city as well I love. The second place I would recommend is Northumberland in the north, and actually anywhere in the north of England. Don't like the south of England, prefer the north of England. If I would move to the north of England in a heartbeat. I know they're saying the weather. Don't give a flying fig. That's fine. As I've got older, I don't give a flying fig about things. So yeah, Northumberland, Durham, that kind of area, which I'm going to in a few weeks' time. 3 weeks? Is it 3 weeks? Yeah, 3 weeks' time. I'm going there and I can't wait. Cannot wait to go there to visit my northern friends up there. Love, although I don't really like cities, I quite liked Newcastle, but we're staying in a little place called Wooler in Northumberland, and yeah, love it. Absolutely love the countryside there. Love the accent, love the people, love everything about it. And if you watch Vera here in the UK, that's the type of scenery that you get in Northumberland. And the last place I'd recommend is, well, I really like the West Country, but I also like Yorkshire as well. Yorkshire, I do. Yorkshire, I love Yorkshire. That's the other place I'd go to. I think there's lots of scenic places there. So yeah, the north of England, much better, in my opinion, than the south of England, so don't come for me. Keller Girl, and I think Abbey Rose, asked similar questions. What was the very first fragrance that really got me into a scent memory? Again, Angel. There you go. So we have also, let's just look here, Joanna's Ganga, if I'm pronouncing that correct, asked, do I ever feel guilty on spending on too much fragrances? No. I don't really buy lots of shoes. I don't buy lots of clothes. I don't buy lots of makeup. I don't splurge on many things. Fragrance is my jam. I was also asked if I had to pick one fragrance note that's my fragrance, what would it be? Well, I have here Midnight Poison, which has got orange, rose and patchouli, the best orange, rose and patchouli combination. So I love those as a combination. Yeah, beautiful. Stunning fragrance, sadly been discontinued. Which fragrance in my collection is the most animalic? Wow. Believe it or not, I think I have a lot of animalic fragrances, but I picked Bella Versailles. And the reason why I picked this fragrance is because it's extremely animalic to my nose, and it's not the most animalic scent, but it's florals with a huge overdose of civet, and this is a reformulated version, strong, and this is so animalic, and I love it. Love it. Oh, this is your fur coat, no knickers scent, along with Salome. But yeah, there we go. So Skin by LJ asks, what do I do in the salon? Well, I work in a spa and I do everything from nails to facials to massage to waxing. But working in a spa, you do a lot of massage, which I know can be hard on not just the hands, but the back. Very, very conscious of my back. I did have a back issue a while back and it's always been ongoing. So I'm extremely conscious of my body. Even doing nails, you can get a bad back from it. Anything that's physical, you can. It's not easy being a beauty therapist. People think, oh, it's just painting nails and giggling and oh, looking all beautiful. No, it's not that at all. There is 2 to 3 years training. It's quite hard, the training. Well, when I did, it was quite hard training. It wasn't, I'm not sure what it's like today doing it because there wasn't really like an apprentice as such. I went to college and then I did work experience in a salon. It was all hands-on as well, a lot of theory. There's also a lot of anatomy and physiology in the training as well as a beauty therapist. And it is quite a highly skilled job. You don't really get a lot of money for, unfortunately, even when you are self-employed as well. It's not like going to be big bucks. But I'm trained in lots of things in my beauty therapy. Not only am I trained in nails, facials, massage, waxing, extensions, enhancements, nail art, massage, deep tissue massage, sports massage, reflexology, Indian head massage, aromatherapy massage. I've done all of that, kind of, not to big my head up, but that's all over the span of like 21 years when I qualified. Yeah, 21 years when I qualified. So, and yeah, love my job. Rock Me Amadeus asks, where was it? What is my favourite song to sing in the shower? I don't sing. I can't sing for the world. So, I don't know why, but sometimes when I'm in the shower though, I sing, don't mess with my toot toot. I don't know why I sing that, but there we go. If you remember that song, then there we go. But no, I don't sing, really. Dance, ask me to dance and I'll dance. That I'm absolutely fine with, but singing, no. If I could record a duet with a singer, which artist would it be? Dolly Parton. Love me a bit of Dolly. Oh, if I could sing, I would be singing Islands in the Stream with her. Yes, without a shadow of a doubt. Love a little bit of Dolly Parton. SenseSiblings.ca asks, if there's one thing about your spouse that drives you mad and one thing about yourself that drives you mad, one thing that drives me mad about Richard is he's steady. Sometimes I wish he was spontaneous. I'm the spontaneous one. I'll be like, yep, come on, can do that, make a decision. He procrastinates and procrastinates and procrastinates until 5 years later. Yes, so I wish he was a little bit more, you know, not, you know what I mean, but more just eager beaver. I'm the eager beaver. And one thing about myself that drives me mad, well, people think I'm the happy-go-lucky, carefree person, but inside I am as anxious as they come and it drives me mad, and I'm on medication for it. And try as I might, I've tried to get off medication and I can't. Try to wean myself off, but I can't. So there we go. I don't want to go too much into that, but there we go. There we go. So I think I've come to, oh no, SenseSiblings.ca, Yulia also asks, my ultimate vacation. My ultimate vacation would be somewhere in Pussyland. Yes, and I'm talking about cats. I don't know. That would be my ultimate vacation. The hottest person on earth. She's put beside you and of course me. The hottest person on earth. Well, who is the hottest person on earth, really? I've seen a lot of hot people on TikTok. But yeah, follow me on TikTok. I'm doing a little spiel there. Follow me on TikTok. Actually, going back to starting a YouTube channel, I digress. If you notice, I'm not really one of these people that says, hi, all my returning subscribers, please like, please share, please comment, give a big thumbs up, and all of that. You're going to do it if you want to. I shouldn't have to ask you. So that's just how I feel. That's just how I feel about that. If you want to, and there are creators out there that do it, and that's brilliant, that's fine. But for me, no. I feel it's not right me saying that. When something happens organically and naturally, it comes from the heart. But then people say, but you've got to go out and you've got to do it. And well, maybe so, but it's just not me. Anyway, if I was going to meet you, Yulia, I would be hugging you. And if you'd like, if I could, can I grope you? No, I'm only kidding. No, Yulia, I would hug you, and I would not want the hug to end. I wouldn't. We'd both be dripping wet, darling. We'd both be dripping wet. So, there are still more questions. There are still more questions. So, Zachary's just asking me, how is life treating me? Well, the medication is treating me well. You know, the anti-anxiety, antidepressant, the anti-anxiety, the antidepressants are working well. I'm okay. I take days, some days, each day at a time, and some days are better than others. And today's an okay day. Today's an okay day. Today's all right. As long as I'm kept occupied and busy, then today's okay. Vicky Licious asks me, what are my top femme fatale fragrances? Well, Vicky Licious, I have two here. Amouage, which is a niche one, Memoir, and Chanel Allure Sensuelle, which is a designer one. These two, I mean, I could put them in a video called Panty Droppers. Well, I wouldn't. I'm not going to do a Panty Droppers video because I don't wear any. But, no, these two, if you want to get a man, wear this. And if you just want to, get a man, wear this. And then, if you want to know what the smell of sex is like, then wear this. You know what to do. I was also asked what are fragrances I would recommend that appeal to everyone. That is quite an open-ended, ambiguous question. Is that the word, ambiguous? But the two I would recommend from my collection, if you're looking for, you mean business, but it's still got a little bit of sassiness and sex appeal, Chanel Coco Mademoiselle, or forget La Vie Belle Original, go for the Eclat. Much, much better, much, much more wearable, in my opinion. And finally, Maria Colette, who is one of the queens of Fragcom in my eyes. She asks, what brings me the most joy currently? Do you know what brings me the most joy currently? Sat here talking to you lot. Sat here just being alive. Sat here, well, standing on my own 2 feet and not being 6 foot under. That's what gives me joy and what gives me hope and what gives me fight to carry on. Because post-COVID, there are still bastards in this world that do not give a damn and are not as compassionate. And I'm not talking about wars going on in the world. I'm just talking about people in general. There are people in this world that aren't as compassionate as they should be. And that really sticks in my throat sometimes. And I suppose probably because I like things, if I think things are wrong, I'll speak out and I'll speak up and I'll sing like a canary. And what do I feel has been my greatest success? Well, again, being alive. I could have been 6 foot under, or I could have just been ashes. If, as a child, going to bed, going to sleep, waking up in the morning and still being that person who I wasn't, achieving this is something in itself. Leaving toxic people at the door is a success, and not going back to those toxic people at the door. Because the saying is, you are in charge of your own life. You are your own CEO. I'll engage with people who I want to engage with, and it has to work both ways. It has to be reciprocated. If I reach out and you don't reach back, it's bye-bye. And if I don't reach out, there's a reason why. And lastly, how many languages do I speak? Well, I speak fluent French, fluent German, and I did 60 credits in my university degree in Italian. Yes, I achieved a first-class degree as an adult. You can do it if you want to. You can go back to college, do your A-levels, go to university, do a degree. I did the degree because I just wanted to. I love languages. I love cultures. I love everybody being inclusive. When we left the EU, that was a big stain on Europe, and I do apologise to people who don't agree with my views there. However, I would rather have been pissing inside the pot with them than outside of the pot, if that's the saying. But there we go. And really, what has been my best accomplishment? Well, it is just being here, talking to you, making videos, doing a YouTube. That's an accomplishment in itself. Be yourself, be your most authentic self, and people will flock to you for who you are. And if you've come to the end of this video, then I hope that you haven't drank too much. I'm going to drink a cup of tea now because my teeth is as dry as a beep beep, if you know the saying. So, till the next time, I hope that answers some questions, and I'll see you all in the next video. But until then, spray with gay abandon. And when you don't like somebody, just give them the middle finger. Till next time, bye for now. Bye.